But then she started asking me very detailed technical accounting questions. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to make a video telling you guys 3 stories of cringe interviews that I've done over the years. So let's just jump right in. So the first story is probably the worst one, and it's what inclined me to make this video. So this was an interview that I did last year for a job I was seeking. Obviously, I did not end up taking that role or opportunity, but this interview I went into knowing that it was an SEC reporting role, meaning I would be working a lot with 10Ks and 10Qs and filing with the SEC. However, I was under the impression that I would also be doing corporate accounting, journal entries, financial reporting. I went into the interview not really knowing what the difference was. And so all the questions I was asking, all the things that I was saying that I was looking for in a new role was actually more related to corporate accounting and financial reporting rather than SEC reporting. And I remember the lady who interviewed me had some kind of audit meeting after our interview that day. They were during the busy times where they were trying to finalize their filings with the SEC. And so she kind of had an attitude with me. During the interview, she asked me what I was looking for, and I was telling her how I was looking to do journal entries, corporate accounting. And she immediately said,
"This is not what this role is. This is an SEC reporting role."
And then I also told her I was looking to get more into the numbers because my current role right now was more focused on financial analysis. And she basically said,
"That's even more vague than what you said before."
And I asked her a few questions in the end, but I knew during the interview that I was not going to take that role. And it was good that I did that interview and I learned more about what my duties were going to be in an SEC reporting role, because now I know that I don't think that that is the career path that I want to go down. So the next story also happened last year when I was looking for a new role, and this interview was part of a 3-step series. There was 2 video interviews with the hiring team, as well as 1 phone call with the HR recruiter. And so this particular bad interview happened with one of the video interviews. My other video interview for this role actually went really well, but this final interview call that I had just did not go well, because what happened was the lady who interviewed me, she started asking normal interview questions. Tell me about your background. What are you looking for in a new role? Just typical questions that I already had prepared, as well as why I was looking to leave. But then she started asking me very detailed technical accounting questions related to accrued liabilities, because this role was more focused on the expense side of things. And I remember one question she asked me was,
"What is the process to audit accrued liabilities?" Or what do you think is the process to audit accrued liabilities if you've never done it before?
And I have done a little bit of auditing of accrued liabilities when I was in my public accounting role, but I wasn't focused so much in that area. And it had been a while since I worked in auditing. And so I came up with an answer as best as I could, but I obviously didn't answer the question to her satisfactory. And she asked me a few other really technical expense questions, like what's the journal entry for an expense that hasn't been paid yet, and what's a journal entry for an expense transaction that has been paid. And it's not that I don't know the answer to the question, but it's because I couldn't come up with the answer quick enough. And I remember I sat there for a while thinking about it because I didn't know she was going to quiz me on this. And eventually enough time passed where she was like, "Okay, it's okay if you don't know, let's just go on to the next question." But I remember coming out of that interview knowing that I probably didn't get the job because I couldn't really come up with an answer to her very technical accounting questions that she was asking me. And the last story that I have for a bad interview, which I don't even want to say was bad because I did end up going to take this position, was for an internship. I don't know what happened, but I remember I interviewed with the HR lady and one of the hiring managers, and they asked me some questions and I was able to answer them. And then there was one question they asked me and I can't remember what it was, but it made me tear up a little bit. and I'm not sure why. I didn't shed any tears or anything, but it definitely made me tear up, but I was able to hold it back. And like I said, I did end up going there for a summer internship, and I had a really good experience. It was in auditing as well, and I met some of the other interns who also did the internship with me that summer. And so yeah, those are the stories of interviews that I've done in the past that have stood out to me that didn't go particularly how I wanted it to and how I expected it to, but it's okay because I think everything in life happens for a reason, and I'm really happy with the current role that I am in right now. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know any bad interviews that you've done in the past, and also give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and I will talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.